Hey there. First of all, happy fall. Fall traditionally is the time that we plant cognitive seeds to ideally make manifest in the spring. That said, when any of us are going through a change, there's some things that I want to talk about because this week specifically, it has come up with all of my clients, and I've actually never had a client that this doesn't come up with. So I recently wrote an article in a different context, but I'm going to use the same story. So if you put, and I heard this from Kate Northrup once, who heard it from somebody else, but if you put a bunch of crabs into a bucket, inevitably the strongest crab is going to be able to get out. And that said, the strongest crab is not able to actually get out because the crabs below the strongest crab pull it back down into the bucket. So I equated this to not enoughness. So if other people, so say that you are the strongest crab in this particular bucket and you're trying to get out of our not enoughness, and other people who feel less than you see you trying to do that, they're going to pull you down so they feel more comfortable being in the bucket. Okay? So everyone's trying to get out of the bucket and people are pissed off that other people are actually strong enough to do it, and those people will try to pull you down. So here's the thing. When we're trying to create change in our lives, inevitably, we're going to piss people off. And here's the thing about this. You're going to be different. You're going to change, okay? So people are going to say, well, you're not who you used to be. And that's going to create a cognitive dissonance in you because you don't want to disappoint people. But the thing is in this change that you're creating in your life, you are not finding yourself. And the thing that's the weird dissonance is that you actually have to lose yourself to find yourself. But nobody finds themselves in a human manifest form. We're all creating ourselves. So we have to lose our identity, the one that people think that we are, that has kept us safe and has also ultimately kept us separate from the things that we truly want, usually. It's the I go to this job every day because that's what my parents expect, or across the board, your identity is the sum of what you believe holds you intact. And if you lost any of those mental cognitions or any of the actions that you do every day, if all of a sudden you stopped smoking or you started smoking, all of a sudden your identity would be messed with. We have to lose the identity that we've created for ourselves in order to gain who we actually are. But we're not truly gaining who we are creating who we are. We're actually learning who we are by nature of finding what's resonant with us and following it curiously. The more we follow what we are curious about, the more we are resonant with the things in our lives that we go, oh, that's me, I'm turned on by that, energetically speaking. Even if I'm like, kind of negatively turned on, I'm still going to be curious about it because there's something there for me. There's something for me to grow from those experiences. So you being turned on by something, curious about something, is your soul being turned on and saying, yes, that's me. I want to move in the direction of that thing because it has something for me vibrationally that wants to teach me something. And we learn then, when we actually eradicate all of the things that we thought that we were, we become empty enough to say, oh, that's kind of where I want to be. And even if it doesn't make sense to me logically, vibrationally, I know that that's closer to my home. During this process, your family and your friends are going to say you're different. They're going to say you're not who you used to be. And I'm just here to say that that's normal. It's actually inevitable. It means you're actually doing the work. And here's the thing. When people say you're not who you used to be, well, isn't that a good thing? Like, when you look at pictures of yourself from when you were a false pretense of happiness, it's okay that these people say you're not who you used to be, because that who you used to be isn't truly who you are or who you want to be. So don't get caught up in this, oh my God, I'm disappointing people because I'm not who I used to be, because the people who are going to be disappointed, it might ruffle feathers. People might feel pissed off because you're reflecting to them something that they don't feel capable of doing in themselves. And that might be of letting go of all of the identity. That might be of truly climbing out of the bucket. Okay? You are climbing out of the bucket. Your willingness to create change in your life is you saying, fuck this, I'm done dying. I'm going to get out of this bucket of not enoughness. I'm going to find out who I truly am in this life. I'm going to create the life that I want based on who I find out that I am. So inevitably people are going to say, I want you back in the bucket with me because you actually kept me comfortable in the bucket. You made me believe it was possible we could all get out of the bucket, and now you're out of it. You climbed out, and I can't do it without you, okay? This is what they're going to feel and think, and that makes sense for them. Don't let it stop you from climbing out of the bucket, because your example of getting out of the bucket is their salvation, okay? You being out of the bucket, you saying, I see you, and I feel you trying to pull me down right now. But that's not resonant with what I'm trying to do. That's not vibrationally in line with me getting out of my own bucket. So I love you, but that's not going to stop me from leaving you, basically. And I'm not saying we have to leave all of the people in our lives who essentially have these pulls and hooks in us that hold us back. What I'm saying is that you have left yourself. You have abandoned yourself in order to be in that bucket in the first place. And you getting back to yourself by getting out of the bucket, by actually releasing all of your identity and then finding out who you truly are in an embodied way, that is what you're here to do. And letting other people stop you by feeling disappointed for them that you have changed is no strength at all. None. Okay? You're not leaving these people. You are being with yourself. And eventually, they're all going to understand that. They're going to see it, and they're going to be inspired by it and aspire to be it, even if at first they're pissed off that you're reflecting to them something that they don't believe that they have in themselves. Okay? All right. That's my little spiel for today. I just wanted to say, like, keep rocking your shit, okay? People are going to be disappointed. People are going to want to pigeonhole you and say that you're being different and that you're changing and that maybe you're even careless. God, isn't it great that you can be so careless as to trust for the first time in your life? And people will look at you and go like, wow, that's really reckless. I can't believe that you would do that. People aspire to be in the sense of safety that we feel when we are saying, you know what, fuck it, I'm leaving the bucket. Okay? It takes an incredible amount of trust and a belief in the safety outside of the bucket for us to do that, which most people don't have, which is inevitably why they're going to be pissed off that you're climbing out of the bucket, because you trust, and it seems to them that you're actually trusting yourself, so they feel like annoyed by it. They see your strength instead of your trust that you are actually being guided into your strength by a higher power. Okay, so they're going to see you and be like, who the fuck do you think you are climbing out of the bucket? I'm going to pull you back down. They're not actually seeing that you are being also pulled out of the bucket by a source that is greater than you, just by your willingness to say, I'm done doing this game. I'm out of this game, okay? So your trust, they'll see you climbing, but you'll see your trust on the other side of that bucket. Does that make sense? So let it happen. This is just a natural part of the process. You're allowed to change. You have permission to change. You are invited to change, and they will be inspired by your change. And ideally, your change is going to give you the intimacy with all of these people that you desired in the first place, because you'll be in a position to be open enough to receive it. Okay? So this is normal. It's natural. Change and let it be good. Let it be good for you, okay? And inevitably, it'll be good for them. I've said inevitably a lot in this video, but I wanted to pop on here really quickly and say that happy fall equinox. Enjoy your change. I love you. Thanks for being here. Mwah. Bye, guys. Have a good day.